So despite me being a part of the team, I play Ghost of Tabor on my off time all the time, whether it's by my lonesome or with friends. It's an addiction that never ceases, and it just festers like the maggots in your fridge, hovering across your leftover food because you haven't touched it in forever. So to help those of you who are struggling with Tabor, I have 20 tips for you to help you within Tabor, and these are in no particular order, but if you have any tips for players, put them in the comments. The first one being something I preach about a lot. Even at the launch party I said this, but take your time. The time frame for each raid is long enough to cover the maps at least once. Take your time hunting players as well. You may be thirsty for kills, but being greedy can be your downfall, causing you to lose your loot and even your precious weapons. Take it slow. Hunters, stalkers, predators of all kinds take their time, so you can too. Learn your surroundings, as if it's ever changing. The team at Combat Waffle Studios is always changing the routes, adding new areas to maps and so on. So take the time to learn any differences for the maps. It could be Phoenix routes, it could be a new place on the map, it could be an addition to an existing area of the map. You can even find new holes, new areas to camp at, and rat it up, stalk away. There's so many places on these maps that either don't get used or get overlooked. This can apply to finding loot as well.
Top.
Piss off.
How about you piss off?
He said piss off. Proceeds to get fucked by Z.
Number 3, practicing your Tetris skills. Ghost of Tabor is a looter shooter at heart, so each item in your pack has collision. It's not like Into the Radius where they just phase with each other, so you need to manage it well, move things around, dedicate spots to specific items, and there have been times where I helped my squad mates fit specific things into their packs because they just didn't have the Tetris skills, because they had that of a toddler with slippery baby food on their fingertips.
I can't get the Glock in here.
You having the Tetris problem?
But it's like,
I know.
it fucking...
I feel your pain.
The pistols have to be like in the
Bitch.
center. The GPU is worth money, so.
Shitload. It's like 60k, yeah? It would be awesome if there was a player outside when you did that.
Ooh, free Glock.
Don't get greedy even with friends. This applies to killing players primarily. Like any other shooter, you want to use strategy to find and eliminate your opponents like the Predator, hide, wait them out, ambush them, anything. Just don't get greedy, because patience is a virtue that gets lost, as some of you just become feral if the game goes down for like an hour. Just look at general chat when it happens. Greed can only get you so far, while patience gets you further. Just look at your significant other or your hand as an example. It's kind of sad. When looting or in a firefight, make sure your positioning isn't compromised. This is obviously a no-brainer, but there have been times where I see players just be sitting ducks and get blasted from myself or my friends. Having keen eyes around where you're looting is crucial to your survival and checking for loot. If you need to, just grab some things and move to a safer location away from hostiles. Show your interact by hurdling in a guard post or something.
Player at the bottom.
You good?
I feel like these items get overlooked a lot. Electronic wallets and cash piles. Each of these have different values for kuruna in them. Kuruna is the currency of the game, and I've seen cash piles go up to $1,000, while I've seen electronics go up to the 100,000s. This can be easy money, and they take up little to no space in your pack. For me, these always have a spot in my pack, no matter what. The gamble is worth it.
I'll grab his backpack
I
and
put my
his gun.
compass all the
You
way
just
up
put
at the
helmet
top.
in the backpack.
Oh, I could, yeah. Let me see. Oh, let's not do that. Your helmet is to the ether.
This one kind of has 2 tips into it, but missions are your friend, obviously. However, some people overlook that you can select the mission to see the details of the mission and what XP amount is given along with the kuruna. However, there are some missions that ask you to find specific items, and I suggest you remember them when you find them, but put them in the storage area and wait until you have all the items listed that you wanted to turn in. Complete the missions beforehand, obviously, then select the missions you need to for those collection missions, then turn them in right then and there.
Hey! Are you fucking kidding me? Hey! Christ.
Get accustomed to your safe house and play the goddamn tutorial. tutorial. The bunker has information for you to peruse and acquire the knowledge to be successful in the game. And the same can be said for the tutorial. A lot of you just hit the menu button and head straight into bunker, missing out on key information like breaching doors, ammo crafting, loading, and the different types of weapons, and so much more. Quit being lazy and literally do the tutorial. It is not hard. You will form less questions if you just do it. It's like people who are brand new to modding a game and don't read. Don't be that guy. Come on. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Favorite your loadouts to get into raids quicker. Favoriting loadouts in case you die can be such a time saver. It beats having to go back into the market every time to build a new weapon. Clearly you want to test the weapons to see if it's viable for you, but you can always just save it, and if you don't like it, remove it. Even if it's just a temporary save until your traders are increased, and it's a time saver that gets underutilized.
Two.
Hey, buddy. Go two friendlies.
Shotty killed him. Both. Yeah, they're dead.
Both of them?
They're dead.
No fucking way, my guy.
As of right now, focus on Spectre, Minty, and Shido first. These are vital to getting new weapons, increasing the damage output for those weapons, and giving you the best protections and gear. Missions will be added and changed, so heed my previous tip and read up on the mission details so you can thoroughly get experience and Corona quickly. Obviously choose the ones you know you can succeed in. So currently for Spectre, the 25 Phoenix with an SMG and 5 raids is a great way for Spectre. However, it can change in the future. Heading to Silo for the boss and acquiring the Alton helmets for Minty is a viable one as of right now as well, and just keep an eye out for items for those traders. Like again, as stated previously, trust no one. Not a single fucking soul. Not even me or other content creators. There have been many times where I see people get stabbed in the back, even myself. You need a colder heart to survive in Tabor. Sure, there can be some that are some good apples, but even then, there's always a worm inside the apple. Stay cautious or just attempt to obliterate them like Kaiba. You know what you can trust though, is the like and subscribe button.
Another player.
Get his hands up. But
I don't care. I trust nobody.
If you're in a squad, communicate but silently. Players tend to keep their mics open in game sometimes, or they just sprint across everywhere without a care in the world. Sometimes sound can be a friend and an adversary. If you're using Discord, make sure to mute in-game by putting your hand over your mouth and pressing the bottom button on your controller or muting it in the settings. You can get ended in a second if someone hears you, so tread carefully and pay attention to your surroundings.
I feel like there's someone in here to our left. I can't tell if it's just a Phoenix or not.
Is that you right there that I saw?
I'm waving my hands. If you
I don't
don't
see
see
you.
hands waving,
Nope.
then shoot. I'm coming out of T. Where are you?
I'm to your right.
Okay, he's to
Boss,
my left.
Boss from by boss, yeah. I think you're in it.
Did you kill him?
Yeah. Got him. Giovanni. Good fucking nerd.
Always check your vitals. They're always adjusting the amount of intervals your vitals decrease, and obviously your health and stamina take a huge factor in your survival. However, hunger and thirst can drag those down as well. Once weight gets implemented, who knows what they'll do to you. I suggest taking at least 1 stick of one-shot energy chews for your stamina in case you need to run longer, and at least 2 nerds for health. Usually water and food can be found throughout Tabor, and the consumption isn't too bad, but you never know. Always keep an eye on your vitals.
Tyria,
The big building. Hi.
what is in this place? What is this?
You want a spoon? Yeah, take a spoon.
I found it again.
Oh, the cat food. Well, there is a spoon.
You want nummies?
Okay, I can't reach. You fed it to me. You fed it to me as you threw it.
If it looks lootable, try it. So many people miss filing cabinets and desks, of which can house an expensive sight, a firearm, an electronic wallet, silencers, but better yet, a purple keycard. Obviously, make sure you're safe first, but if you get the opportunity to, then do it. It's easy money and easy pickings. Gear fear, it exists, obviously, but luckily within Tabor, as of right now at least, you can lose gear and easily pick yourself back up. Sure, if you're coming from a hardcore looter shooter like Escape from Tarkov or DayZ, it can be hard to break that habit. Just follow the other tips again, take your time, and you'll be back up at full capacity in no time. This isn't really a tip, but more of a little guide. I guess you can consider it a tip, but it's to help you decide what to do. It's some general thoughts for the current maps. Silo can be rated for quick loot, but with higher danger from Phoenix and players, as it is a much more close combat map, while the island is for long-range fights, but slightly easier to manage, as it's fast and with hidden loot, but still a good chance of finding some solid loot. It is huge though, so.
It's fucking fucking defile that body, mate. What happens in Tabor stays in Tabor.
Take your shots carefully. Another thing that's a bit common sense related, but it's relevant regardless. If you feel as if you cannot execute your target quick enough, then hold your shots back. If you do take pod shots, tread carefully if they know where you're shooting from, and heed my previous tip and take your time. Attempting to kill someone without having a clear shot can really get you killed quickly, whether it's from them or another player sneaking up behind you because they heard you. So you can probably take this as a sign to get a silencer. Now, each firearm is different. There have been many times where I've seen new players and streamers die because they didn't have any knowledge of the firearm in their hands. So take your time, learn each one, whether it's what type of mag it takes, what type of ammo it takes, what attachments can be used with it, the different fire modes, but probably the most important is how to load the mag into the firearm and whether it's a slide or a bolt back. The team at Combo Waffle Studios are always working on new guns, so there may be some that you have absolutely no knowledge of, so just take the extra 2 to 5 minutes figuring out how the weapon works.
Trying not to pull a witty and shoot myself in the head as I scratch my ear.
No. Oh yeah, do that.
Okay, you want me to? All right. Well,
No, I'm kidding. Did you just kill yourself?
no,
Really?
no.
Oh.
Take and or hide every single nerd and one-shot choose. I say these specifically for a few reasons. Nerds are obviously used to heal you, that's obvious, but if you do not take a nerd, you give the enemies an advantage. Just pick a corner in your pack, stuff those nerds in it, the more the better for you anyway. But why did I mention the one-shot choose? This is more tied to the island. I mentioned this earlier, but the one-shot choose and even the freshen up energy drinks can give you stamina while you're in a bind. You do not want to be exhausted in the middle of a field, so you can take them or hide them away, stuff them up your prison wallet, do what you gotta do. Organization is key. This can be the organization of your base or your pack or your chest rig. Organizing your chest rig to have specific pouches in specific places at all times can really be beneficial for you to have that muscle memory of where those mags are. There have been times where I would grab stuff and I would forget where I put them, but if I always put them in the same spot, then I could easily kill a player. Obviously, each chest rig is different, but just do what feels more natural to you when reaching for a fresh magazine. As for your backpack, you still need to have those Tetris skills that I mentioned before, but having specific items in specific areas can relieve some stress if you're under pressure. Examples being the nerds, magazines, and grenades. I also put those in the same spots in my pack. I always put the nerds at the bottom right or the top of my pack. Your muscle memory will take over, and when you reach for your pack, you can instantly grab the items that you wanted to reach for right from the rip.
You don't stop. You don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing. So fucking stupid.
Who just took my gun?
Hey, player down there. Player down there. Player down there.
Did he crash? Look at him. He's just standing. He's running in place.
Wait, let me record before you kill him, okay?
Well, you can't kill him. Never mind.
What? Why'd you kill him?
Well, normally you couldn't.
Oh.
Normally you could have killed players disconnecting.
Now, these have been 20 tips that I can provide to players that are struggling or are brand new to the game, and maybe players that didn't know some things. If you played the game before and learned a few things from this video, let me know which ones. If you have any tips for players that I didn't mention, leave them down below as well, please. And if you want to see any more Ghost of Tabor stuff here, let me know what you want to see. With that, I bid you farewell, and I hope you mow down your enemies like Tony Montana with style. That's it for me. Bye-bye. Take care. I'm gonna hop into Tabor. Bye.